Welcome to MasterChem Academy.
Welcome to MasterChem Academy. Now, today our present class very interesting name reactions and very important too. So, name reactions in alkyl halides and aryl halides. First, let us discuss alkyl halides. So, first reaction under this name reactions is Grou's process. Grou's process. What is Grou's process? Okay, here ROH plus HCl in presence of anhydrous ZnCl2 gives RCl plus H2O. Conversion. So here alcohol to alkyl halide. Alcohol to alkyl halide. So here what happened? OH group is substituted with halogen group Cl. Okay. So here HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2. These two, HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2, these two collectively called as Lucas reagent. Okay, mixture of HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2, that is called Lucas reagent. Okay, now the process in which HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2 both are used, that is called Grou's process. Okay, in any process, if HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2 both are used, that process is said to be Grou's process. Okay, if you take this reaction with ethyl alcohol C2H5OH plus HCl, so anhydrous ZnCl2, and what it gives? C2H5Cl plus H2O, ethyl alcohol to ethyl chloride. Okay, now in this reaction, if we take HCl HX, in this case in place of HX, so what is the reactivity of this reaction? In this reaction, that is HI is greater than HBr is greater than HF, HCl is greater than HF. Okay, reactivity in this process. So reactivity of hydrogen halides, HI has high reactivity in this reaction. And also if you take alcohols, that is tertiary alcohols having high reactivity than secondary alcohols and primary alcohols. So tertiary alcohols, because of the high reactivity of tertiary alcohols, even in absence of anhydrous ZnCl2, also it converts into alkyl chloride. Alcohol is converted to alkyl chloride for tertiary alcohols. Okay, so this is Grou's process. But primary alcohols, for primary alcohols, so HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2 both are must, as it is highly reactive. That's why even in absence of this, so we can convert alcohol to alkyl halide. So this is about Grou's process. Okay, next the second reaction, that is Finkelstein reaction. Finkelstein reaction. What is Finkelstein reaction? So this is the very convenient method for the preparation of alkyl iodides. Okay, for preparation of alkyl iodides, this is convenient method. What is that? Finkelstein reaction. So actually it is a halogen exchange reaction. Halogen exchange reaction. What it is? How it is? So that is alkyl chlorides are bromides. Alkyl chlorides are bromides with NaI, sodium iodide, in presence of acetone. Acetone, so converts alkyl iodides. Okay, so this is the Finkelstein reaction. What is that? So halogen, chlorine atom is if substituted with iodine atom, that means it is called halogen exchange. Okay, if you take C2H5Br plus NaI, acetone, what it gives? C2H5I plus NaBr. Okay, ethyl bromide is converted as ethyl iodide. So bromine is substituted with iodine. Bromine atom is substituted with iodine atom. That's why it is called halogen exchange reaction. Okay, so this for halogen exchange reactions, NaI only is full, but NaCl or NaBr So important point. So NaCl and NaBr are not useful for halogen exchange reaction. Only NaI only useful. What is the reason? Because NaI is soluble in acetone, but these two are insoluble in acetone. Okay, as NaI is soluble in acetone, it favors the forward reaction according to the Le-Chatelier principle. That's why so NaI only useful for halogen exchange reaction. That you should remember, because what is the reason? NaCl, NaBr, these are insoluble in acetone, but NaI is soluble in acetone. That's why it favors the forward reaction. So this is about Finkelstein reaction. Now move on to next reaction. Next reaction, third one, that is Schwarz reaction. Schwarz reaction. So what is Schwarz reaction? Here, this is the convenient method for the preparation of alkyl fluorides. Generally, fluorination is very difficult because it leads to the violent reaction. Violent reactions, sometimes maybe explosion may also takes place. That's why, so for the preparation of alkyl fluorides, this Schwarz reaction is very convenient method. So how it is? So alkyl chlorides are bromides with metal fluorides. So gives alkyl fluorides. Here also halogen exchange takes place, but here chlorine is substituted with fluorine. Okay, what metal fluorides are useful here? AgF, Hg2F2, okay, SbF3. So these are the some metal fluorides useful here for the conversion of alkyl chlorides or bromides to alkyl fluorides. Okay, so here if you take CH3Br plus AgF, so that is CH3F plus AgBr. So bromine is substituted with fluorine. Okay, this is Schwarz reaction. If you take C2H5Cl plus Hg2F2, so 2 moles. So what it gives? C2H5F plus Hg2Cl2. So byproduct. What is the conversion? Ethyl chloride is converted as ethyl fluoride. So this is Schwarz reaction. So here not only this, COF2 also, cobalt difluoride, COF2, cobalt difluoride. So what are the metal fluorides? Silver fluoride AgF, mercury fluoride, stibbium SbF3, COF2, cobalt fluoride. So this is about Schwarz reaction. Okay, next fourth reaction, that is Williamson synthesis. So what is Williamson synthesis? So this is for the preparation of ethers. Okay, so that is C2H5Cl ethyl chloride with NaOR dash or Cl with NaOR dash. So that is, if you take here NaOC2H5, okay, sodium ethoxide. So in presence of alcohol, what it gives? C2H5OC2H5 or OR. What is that? Ether. Here it is diethyl ether. What is this? Diethyl ether. Ethyl chloride. What is this? Sodium ethoxide. Reaction with sodium ethoxide. Alcohol in presence of alcohol. So means it is alcoholic sodium ethoxide. Sodium, or we can take potassium ethoxide. So this conversion of this with conversion of ethyl chloride with sodium ethoxide to diethyl ether, that is called Williamson synthesis. Okay, not only this process, we can also prepare this C2H5OC2H5 diethyl ether by using Ag2O also. Ag2O. So that is how it is: C2H5Cl, Ag2O, Cl, C2H5. 2 moles of ethyl chloride with Ag2O. So what it gives? So alcohol C2H5OC2H5. So what happened here? 2 moles of AgCl. 2 moles of AgCl it lost, and what is the remaining product? C2H5O C2H5. So 2AgCl. So diethyl ether. Okay, this is the alternative method for the preparation of diethyl ether, but Williamson synthesis is this only. What is that? Ethyl chloride, sodium ethoxide, diethyl ether. So this is about Williamson synthesis. Fifth reaction, that is Hofmann aminolysis. So Hofmann aminolysis. So that is the fifth name reaction. So here what is this? Here take one example, C2H5Cl plus NH3. So alcoholic ammonia. So passed through a sealed tube. So this ethyl chloride and alcoholic ammonia, so passing through a sealed tube at 100 degrees centigrade. So what it gives? Mixture of amines and quaternary ammonium salt. These are formed. This reaction is called Hofmann aminolysis. So here mixture of amines. In this mixture of amines, primary amines, secondary amines, tertiary amines are formed. So along with quaternary, primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary ammonium salt. Okay. So here condition is we should take this excess of ethyl chloride to get mixture of amines. So what happens? So what is the reaction? C2H5Cl plus NH3 minus HCl takes place. So what it gives? C2H5NH2. What is this? Ethyl amine. So it is a primary amine. Ethyl amine is a primary amine. Now this reacts with C2H5Cl. So we have taken excess of ethyl chloride. That's why next second mole of ethyl chloride. So here also loss of HCl takes place, minus HCl. So once HCl is removed, and what is the remaining product? C2H5 NH C2H5, diethyl amine. So diethyl amine is a secondary amine. Okay. Now this is also reaction with C2H5Cl. Here also it is having one hydrogen, that's why loss of HCl takes place, and what it gives? C2H5 C2H5. What is this? This is tertiary amine. So three alkyl groups, that's why it is tertiary amine. Here are two alkyl groups, secondary amine, only one alkyl group, primary amine. So here now in this case, so it is here no hydrogen atoms, that's why so removal of HCl is not possible, even though it reacts with C2H5Cl to give quaternary ammonium salt. So here all these are amines. So as it is not possible for the removal of HCl, salt will be formed. What is that? Quaternary ammonium salt. So that is C2H5 N C2H5 plus Cl minus. This is the quaternary ammonium salt. Okay. So in this Hofmann aminolysis, what are formed? Primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine, quaternary ammonium salts. So this is about this reaction Hofmann aminolysis. Okay, next reaction, sixth one, that is Woods reaction. Okay, what is Woods reaction? Alkyl halide plus sodium metal with alkyl halide, 2 moles of alkyl halides. So in presence of dry ether, what it gives? Alkane plus 2NaX alkane. So if you take here C2H5Br plus 2Na plus Br C2H5 ethyl bromide, 2 moles of ethyl bromides, dry ether. So what it gives? C2H5, C2H5, N-butane plus 2Na-Br. Okay. So here comparison Wurtz reaction with here one more is there with a reaction with metals, that is C2H5 Mbr plus magnesium, reaction with magnesium. What it gives? C2H5 MgBr. Here it is, what it is? It is Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent. Halogen containing compounds, named reactions. So let us study one by one. First one, Sandmeyer's reaction. What is Sandmeyer's reaction? Here it is benzene diazonium chloride. Benzene diazonium chloride with cuprous chloride HCl or cuprous bromide HBr. This is reaction with cuprous chloride with HCl or cuprous bromide with HBr. What it gives? Chlorobenzene. Chlorobenzene. Here it is bromobenzene. Okay. This is called Sandmeyer reaction. Conversion of benzene diazonium chloride to chlorobenzene or bromobenzene is called Sandmeyer's reaction. Okay. So here diazo group from the benzene diazonium chloride is substituted with chlorine or bromine. In this case chlorine and here bromine. So diazo group is substituted with chlorine or bromine. So now what is benzene diazonium chloride? So how to prepare benzene diazonium chloride? So this is first here it is, we should start with aniline, C6H5 NH2. What is this? Aniline. This aniline by diazotization with diazotizing mixture NaNO2 plus HCl. Okay, diazotization mixture. What is that? NaNO2 HCl by here 0 to 5 degrees centigrade. So what it gives? That is benzene diazonium chloride, N2Cl. Actually it is a salt, N2 plus Cl minus. Okay, this is called, what it is? Benzene diazonium chloride. This benzene diazonium chloride with CuCl, HCl, what it gives? It is chlorobenzene. Now cuprous bromide, CuBr, HBr, what is this? It gives bromobenzene. Chlorobenzene and bromobenzene. So this is called Sandmeyer. What is Sandmeyer reaction? This one is Sandmeyer reaction. So replacement of diazo group with halogens, chlorine or bromine, that is with cuprous chloride in presence of HCl, cuprous or cuprous bromide in presence of HBr, that is said to be Sandmeyer's reaction. So how to prepare benzene diazonium chloride? From aniline by diazotization, NaNO2 HCl 0 to 5 degrees centigrade. So this is the first reaction, Sandmeyer's reaction. Now second reaction, that is also important, that is second one, Gattermann's reaction. Gattermann's reaction. So what is Gattermann's reaction? Same reaction, but here benzene diazonium chloride to chlorobenzene. In place of cuprous chloride, only copper is used here. Here in place of cuprous bromide, here only copper metal is used. That is called Gattermann's reaction. What is the difference between Sandmeyer's and Gattermann's? In Sandmeyer, cuprous chloride and HCl, but here Gattermann, copper metal and HCl. Here cuprous bromide HBr, but here copper metal and HBr. So reaction is same. So the product is chlorobenzene, here bromobenzene. So same, aniline with by diazotization gives benzene diazonium chloride. So here copper metal with HBr. that is chlorobenzene, bromobenzene. Chlorobenzene and it is bromobenzene. So this is the second method. So to prepare aryl halides, chlorobenzene and bromobenzene, so with the Sandmeyer's reaction, and the second one Gattermann's reaction. Okay, now next third one, that is Siemens reaction. Siemens reaction. Okay, so here also that is same, but here with the Siemens reaction we can prepare fluorobenzene only, fluorobenzene with the Siemens reaction. Okay, what it is? So before that we can here what we have prepared: chlorobenzene, bromobenzene, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, chlorobenzene and bromobenzene we have prepared from two methods, Sandmeyer's and Gattermann reaction. Now to prepare fluorobenzene, this is the method, Siemens reaction. And how to prepare iodobenzene? Here iodobenzene is, the preparation of iodobenzene is no need of any metals or metal chlorides, just with potassium iodide. With potassium iodide, so what it gives? Iodobenzene. Iodobenzene. Okay, here copper metal like in Gattermann's reaction or cuprous chlorides like in Sandmeyer reaction are not required, just because of this. So here the substitution of iodine is easy compared to those. That's why Ki is enough. So that's why benzene diazonium chloride with Ki directly it gives iodobenzene. Here no need of any metal, copper or metal chlorides, cuprous chloride. So this is the preparation method for iodobenzene. Now what about fluorobenzene? The fluorobenzene is prepared by using Siemens reaction. What is Siemens reaction? Benzene diazonium chloride with HbF4, hydrogen borofluoride, okay, minus HCl takes place and gives here fluorobenzene. Okay, so by this method we can prepare Siemens reaction. What is benzene diazonium chloride? Here benzene diazonium chloride with HbF4, loss of HCl takes place. So loss of HCl takes place, and what is the remaining? So that is N2BF4. This is also salt, N2 plus BF4 minus. Okay, this is benzene diazoborofluorate. What is that? Benzene diazoborofluorate. Okay, this on heating it gives fluorobenzene plus N2 plus BF3, boron trifluoride. Okay, so this is called Siemens reaction. What is Siemens reaction? Benzene diazonium chloride. This is benzene diazonium chloride. So benzene diazonium chloride with hydrogen borofluorate, HbF4. So what it gives? Benzene diazofluorofluoride, which on heating gives fluorobenzene, N2 and boron trifluoride. So these are the three reactions, named reactions, very important to prepare halobenzenes. So conclusion: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. From benzene diazonium chloride. From benzene diazonium chloride we can prepare fluorobenzene, chlorobenzene, bromobenzene and iodobenzene. To prepare fluorobenzene, what is the method? With HbF4, and upon heating that gives fluorobenzene. What is the method for chlorobenzene and bromobenzene? We have two methods. One is Sandmeyer's reaction, and second one is, what is the second one? Gattermann's reaction. What is Sandmeyer's reaction? What is used here? Cuprous chloride and HCl. See here in Gattermann's reaction, copper HCl or cuprous bromide HBr to prepare bromobenzene. Here in Gattermann's copper HBr. Okay, what is the method? What is the for iodobenzene to prepare iodobenzene? So by directly with Ki. Here no metal or metal chloride is required. So this is the important reactions and important comparison of these three reactions. Okay, next fourth name reaction, that is Dow's process. What is Dow's process? So here conversion of this chlorobenzene with NaOH. So here 350 degree centigrade and 300 atmosphere pressure. So minus H2O and minus NaCl, sodium chloride and NaH2O, removal of these two takes place and leads to the formation of sodium phenoxide. What is this? ONA, sodium phenoxide. Okay, so chlorobenzene with sodium hydroxide gives sodium phenoxide. Okay, this sodium phenoxide by acidification, okay, in presence of mineral acids H plus, so what it gives? Phenol plus Na plus. Okay, so this is phenol. So conversion of chlorobenzene to phenol, that is Dow's process. Okay, sodium phenoxide by acidification it gives phenol. Okay, so here CH3Cl NaOH plus NaOH, here substitution of chlorine atom by OH group takes place. Okay, chlorine atom is substituted with OH group. Okay, so here it is, if we take aqueous NaOH, that is CH3OH plus NaCl. Okay, compare these two reactions. So in both the cases, what is happened? Cl is substituted with OH, but here this much of temperature and pressure is not required here. Okay, not required here, but here high temperature and high pressure is required because of the low reactivity of chlorobenzene. Okay, that low reactivity is due to the carbon halogen bond polarity. Okay, it is less polar compared to this one. Okay, and also hybridization, here carbon is sp3 hybridization, here sp2 hybridization. So percentage of S is here, what is this? 25%. Here sp2 hybridization means it is 33.3%. With increasing S percentage, okay, this carbon holds this electron pair of this electron bond pair more tightly. So that's why removal of chlorine atom is difficult. So that's why here it is less reactivity compared to alkyl halides. That's why here high temperature, high pressure is required, drastic conditions required. Okay, this is called Dow's process. Okay, if we can enhance the reactivity of this chlorobenzene by introducing the electron withdrawing groups like NO2. Electron, it is a electron withdrawing group. So electron withdrawing groups at ortho and para positions. So if you take here chlorobenzene, here ortho nitrochlorobenzene. So if we introduce the electron withdrawing group at ortho position, okay, so this is, so the same reaction, it requires 165 degree centigrade temperature and acidification to convert corresponding phenol. Okay, corresponding phenol. Okay, if we introduce one more NO2 group at para position, here it requires 95 degrees only. What it means? With increasing the electron withdrawing groups at ortho and para positions, so rate of reaction will increase. Okay, that's why less temperature is enough. If we introduce the NO2 group, so remaining ortho position means two ortho positions and one para position. Okay, trinitro, three nitro groups. Now what it is, here no need of temperature and no need of acidification, just warm with water, then we can get the corresponding phenol. So this is about the Dow's process. Next, fifth reaction, name reaction, fifth one, that is Wurtz-Fittig reaction. Wurtz-Fittig reaction. So what is Wurtz-Fittig reaction? We know that Wurtz reaction, what is that? Alkyl halide with sodium metal, 2 moles of alkyl halide with a in presence of dry ether, what happens? Loss of -2 NaX takes place and leads to the formation of higher alkanes, RR. Okay, that is Wurtz reaction. Here 2 moles of alkyl halides with sodium metal. Here in place of alkyl halide, one is, if we take one is aryl halide, that will be the Wurtz-Fittig reaction. Okay, aryl halide, sodium metal, alkyl halide, that is Wurtz-Fittig reaction. So that's why here take bromobenzene, sodium metal plus methyl bromide. Okay, so this on reaction with in presence of dry ether, so what it gives, here it is CH3 plus 2 NaBr. So what is the name? Toluene. Name of the product is toluene. Here it is bromobenzene. Okay, bromobenzene to toluene. So this is Wurtz-Fittig reaction. Dry ether in presence of dry ether, aryl halide, alkyl halide. One aryl halide, one alkyl halide with sodium metal, that is Wurtz-Fittig reaction. Next, the sixth one, that is Fittig reaction. So what is Fittig reaction? So here 2 moles of aryl halides, Br plus 2 Na plus bromobenzene 2 moles in presence of dry ether. So what it gives? So this is C6H5 diphenyl. What is the name of the compound? Diphenyl. So here 2 moles of bromobenzene. Okay, 2 moles of bromobenzene. So with the sodium metal in presence of dry ether. So C6H5 means here it is, what it is? C6H5Br. So this is C6H5Br. Bromobenzene means, so that's why here C6H5 on phenyl, so that is diphenyl plus 2 NaBr. Okay, this is Fittig reaction. Okay, Wurtz-Fittig reaction, Fittig reaction. What is the difference between these two? Here aryl halide, alkyl halide with the sodium metal. Here both are aryl halides with the sodium metal in presence of dry ether. So this is Wurtz-Fittig and Fittig reactions. And next, seventh one, that is Ullmann reaction. Next, seventh one, Ullmann reaction. Okay, seventh one, Ullmann reaction. What is Ullmann reaction? Here it is 2 moles of aryl iodides with the copper metal plus aryl iodide. So heating is enough. Okay, with the heat, by heating, what it gives? Here C6H5. Here also, that is diphenyl and 2CuI, copper iodide. Okay, so what is this? Iodobenzene. How many moles? 2 moles. 2 moles of iodobenzene with copper metal. That is called Ullmann reaction. So now what is the difference between Wurtz-Fittig, Fittig, Ullmann? Okay, so comparison is very important in chemistry. So wherever comparison is there, that is very important. Now what is Wood's reaction? Alkyl halide, sodium metal, alkyl halide. So in presence of dry ether, that gives alkane plus 2NaX, that is Wood's reaction. What is Wurtz-Fittig reaction? Aryl halide, sodium metal, alkyl halide, dry ether, that gives ArR, okay, plus 2NaX, that is Wurtz-Fittig reaction. Now what is Fittig reaction? So here two are aryl halides only, okay, in place of alkyl halide. So both 2 moles of aryl halide with the sodium metal. So in presence of dry ether, that is ArAr, that is diphenyl plus 2NaX. Next, what is Ullmann reaction? Here aryl iodides plus copper metal. So aryl iodide, here also aryl iodide. So heating is sufficient. So here ArAr, that is ArAr, that is diphenyl plus 2CuI. Okay, this is the comparison, very important comparison of different name reactions. Okay, here not Ullmann reaction, not only aryl iodides, even aryl chloride, aryl bromides also shows this Ullmann reaction, but for these two cases, electron withdrawing groups at ortho and para positions, electron withdrawing groups must at ortho and para positions to give this Ullmann reaction, to give the desired product, okay, because aryl iodides reactivity is more compared to aryl chlorides and bromides. That's why here just by heating it gives diphenyl, but for in this cases, so at ortho and para positions, if electron withdrawing groups are present, so ortho and para positions, ortho or para positions, if electron withdrawing groups are present, then it gives desired product, okay. So this condition is must for aryl chlorides and aryl bromides. So this is about Wurtz-Fittig, Fittig and Ullmann reactions. Next, 8th one, Friedel-Crafts alkylation. What is Friedel-Crafts alkylation? So here for aryl halides, here chlorobenzene plus CH3Cl, methyl chloride. So chlorobenzene reacts with methyl chloride in presence of, this is important, anhydrous AlCl3. Anhydrous AlCl3, what it gives? Orthochlorotoluene and parachlorotoluene. Orthochlorotoluene, this is what it is, orthochlorotoluene and parachlorotoluene. Okay, so this is minor and this is para product is major. This is Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Okay, so what happened here? Loss of HCl takes place and chlorobenzene with methyl chloride, so gives orthochlorotoluene and parachlorotoluene, that is Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Okay, next 9th one, that is Friedel-Crafts acylation. 9th one, Friedel-Crafts acylation. What is the difference between alkylation and acylation? Okay, in alkylation, alkyl chlorides are formed, alkyl chlorides are used. So here in acylation, acyl chloride. What is acyl chloride? That is CH3COCl, acetyl chloride, or this is group is called acetyl group or acyl group. That's why here acyl chloride, CH3COCl, acyl chloride. So what it gives? So here this is COCH3, orthochloro What is its name is orthochloroacetophenone. Orthochloroacetophenone. That's why here it is minor. And here what it is? The product parachloroacetophenone, COCH3. Parachloroacetophenone. Ortho and acetophenone. So this is major. Okay. So this is about Friedel-Crafts acylation.